Hey everybody, back again with another video here today, and I'm kind of dipping my toes in the water, testing it out, a new figure line, seeing if it's hot or cold. I think there's been one other figure that's been released in this series before this one that I know of. But yeah, this is the Dinosaur Battlefield figures, and I got this one. It's supposed to be like a T-Rex type deal, and as the name suggests, they're basically dinosaurs. It's hard to see with all this plastic and the light glaring, but you can see there's a T-Rex looking dinosaur in here. I think he was called the King T-Rex or something like that. But yeah, it's supposed to be the black version. It came with 3 different varieties. I think there was like a blue and a green. I'd have to double check on all that, but I know this is supposed to be the black version. Yeah, I think it's just the colors really the difference. I don't know if they came with anything different. I don't think so. But yeah, we'll have to get this guy out and check him out further. Now, this company I've never gotten figures from before, and I think they're called Axytoys. That's the name of the company that was on it when I ordered it. I'm not sure what this is over here. Alvin, XY, and then there's AY Toys over here. So I don't know if it's just 3 different companies here together. But Axytoys is what we're going to call these guys. Axytoys Dinosaur Battlefield. And yeah, this is supposed to be the black version right here that I got. As you can see, this is what he looks like with his armor and everything on him. I think it looks really cool. The first figure came out was a different dinosaur. The only reason I didn't order him, there's just like a warning here. Like, if you break this figure, we're not going to cover your ass. This says Dinosaur Battlefield, the Carnivorous Kins T-Rex Bloodblade. See, that's a different name than what was on the 5K Toys where I ordered this. Because it said something about him being like the King T-Rex or something like that. So I don't know. Getting different stories here, but the side of the box, the front of the box, the bottom's the same as the top. Not really much to the box, so it's probably one I don't need to keep the box for. But this guy just looks, just in this box, he looks huge. I thought this was like a little, 6-7 inch figure. And he is a bulking beast, it looks like. I'm going to have to see how tall he actually is. And it weighs a lot, man. This box is heavy. I was wondering when I got it if it was just the packaging or if it was the box itself. But yeah, they shipped this thing to me. I think they're in California. I'm all the way across the country. And it only cost me $5. So that's pretty damn good shipping. 5K Toys, I have to give it to them for that. $5 for this heavy-ass Battlefield dinosaur. But let's open this box and see what this guy looks like. Alrighty, guys, so here is the behemoth out of the box. Man, he looks really good. Really, really cool. He is a big, bulking beast. I will say that. My poor little spinner is having all kinds of trouble. I'm going to try to get him off here pretty quick, but I wanted to get a closer look at him this way so you guys can just see all the details and everything. Now, this is how he came out of the box. He comes with a lot of extra armor and everything, which I'll go over in a minute. But you can just see like his little arm guards there. He has these awesome leg guards. There's like details and everything. He has this really nice, like, soft loincloth. I don't know what you'd call it. It's like the fabric around where his belt is. With the, I don't know if that's like a mammoth or some kind of elephant tusk going on there. Oh, man. Just really cool figure, guys. Just like really good. They did really well with the skin there. Just like all the different little bumps and crevices, and the coloring looks really nice. The eyes, the mouth looks really cool. Jeez. I have to say, man, look at that armor. Just look at the details that they put in all that. It's like looks like a T-Rex head or something with teeth and stuff. Yeah, details in all the armor pieces he has on there. You can see where it like latches on the bottom. So you can just like slide those out and take that leg armor and stuff off. You can actually get this guy completely naked. He doesn't have any of the armor, and he's a lot cheaper because I think I paid, it was like $107 for this figure, and then shipping was like $112, like $5 for shipping. Really nice deal. But you can get them, I think, completely naked for like $80, 60 to $80, somewhere around there. I have to double check the price. This is Big Bad Toy Store prices. I got them from 5K Toys. I don't think they sell the, I don't know if they sell the naked versions on 5K Toys, but I know Big Bad Toy Store definitely had them for like 60 or $80. I'd have to double check the price for you guys, but that's what I remember as well. Man, look at that eye, dude. That beady eye. intimidating. Man. But yeah, I'm going to have to get him off this spinner because that poor thing is weighed down. I'm actually going to weigh him real quick because I did get a scale. He's got to be well over a pound. He's got to be like close to like 3 pounds or something, I would imagine. 2 pounds naked. This is without his tail because he don't have his tail attached. It came separate in the box and all his armor pieces and stuff. So this will be interesting to see how much he weighs because I feel like I could beat somebody to death. And he has like articulated, like at least the middle toe there is articulated. I noticed this one because I moved it up a little bit. I don't know if all of them can. It looks like they can, but I'm scared. I'm gonna have to warm him up maybe because I think his joints might be kind of tight. So I don't really want to break this figure, especially since they put the warning right on the box that if it's your screw up, it's your screw up. So beware, be smart, heat it up if you need to. But yeah, so far so good, guys. I'm just talking on and on about him, but you can see the really nice details on this guy, and I think for the price so far, I'm very pleased with the way he looks, just like this. So let's get into the rest of his stuff. I'm gonna weigh him real quick, and then I'll measure him too, because he's got to be he's definitely not 7 inches. He's got to be like 9-10 inches. Also, since I'm already looking at stuff here, he does come with this little like card that shows a picture of him on the front there, and in the back of it, it's in the, I don't know if that's Chinese, Japanese. I don't know my languages there, but we got his backstory. It says the carnivorous King T-Rex Bloodblade. I'm sitting there vibrating the paper, but anyways, yeah, it tells like a backstory. I'm about to read that. I haven't read it yet, but that's very cool. Sorry, I'm shaking here. Apparently, can't control myself. But also, I see, like, in the box I was talking about, like, I'll probably just toss the box away, and then I seen the backdrop after I got the figure out. I was like, that's a really cool backdrop. Now I'm kind of wanting to keep the box. But yeah, I just want to show those two things. But let's weigh this guy real quick. Okay, so I got the scale right here. I'm going to turn this thing on. Okay. I'm saying he's got to weigh like 2 pounds. That's my guess. Let's see if we can get him to stand on here. Okay, almost. He's 1 pound, 14 ounces. This is without his tail and without his armor on. So he's got to be well over 2 pounds once he's all put together. That's a heavy figure for an action figure, in my opinion. Over 2 pounds. I said the box. I thought the box was like 10 pounds when I got it. So yeah, he's just this right here is 2 pounds. So yeah, pretty cool. Now let me see if I can. I don't know if I can measure him one-handed here. Let me get the measuring tape real quick. Alright, so I got the measuring tape here. We're just going to measure him real quick. And it looks like he's over 9 inches. He's not quite 10 inches. But without his armor pieces on, he's about... I don't think he's quite 9.5. He's almost. He's like right there. And he's almost 7 inches wide. So he's like 6.5 inches wide, about 2 pounds naked almost here. Well, he has a little bit of armor on, but once we get all his armor and everything on and his tail, he should be quite large. So that's a big figure right there. And for that price, that's pretty good. I mean, I buy those, Dragon Ball Z figures that are, a lot smaller than this for a lot more. And this guy seems beastly. We don't know what his articulation is going to be, but I'm going to soak this guy in some hot water and try to loosen up those joints a little bit just to be safe, and then we'll get to the articulation. Alrighty, so I soaked him in some water for a few minutes. I forgot to take off his his like leather arm guards and his leg guards here, so hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. But just to show you this guy, this is the like fabric cloth stuff, and it's basically just Velcro that goes on the back, and then you just peel that away. And then this is his elephant mammoth belt thing, and it's just like a belt. You just slide it through the loop in the back, and there you go. So I had to take that. I took that stuff off before I soaked him, but I forgot to take the legs and the arm things off, which I guess these are supposed to be like. I'm assuming this isn't real leather, but if it is, hopefully I didn't screw anything up by soaking it in water. But anyways, let's get into the articulation. This guy is quite large, so I'll try to do the best I can. But yeah, as far as the head goes, he can look down about like that. He can look up like that, so pretty decently. And he does have, like, he can rotate his head and everything too, so make him one of them like looks. But then, like, my favorite thing there, the jaw articulation. Love that. I always like that. I'm always a fan of the jaws. And then we got the arm, can go up that high there, and then we can get him to go out that far. So really good arm articulating there. We can bend it up like this. Pretty cool. Now there is no articulation. I mean, you can, of course, twist the wrist all the way around if you want, but there's no articulation in the fingers. I did put his tail on too, by the way, to help with the balance, because yeah, he is heavy, and you know, he likes to fall over if you don't get him standing just right. But yeah, so his arm's really good articulation with his arm. It is still a little tighter. I maybe need to soak a little bit longer. Afraid to break these guys, but put his arm. Don't want to rip the arm guard either. But they are very tight, so if you get this figure, if it's anything like mine, you gotta be careful, because they do have some tight joints, especially in the toes, because I wasn't sure if all the toes articulate, which they do, which we'll get to in a second. But he does have a crunch, as you can see, as I knock the camera over. But there is a crunch there. I don't want to force it too much, but he can go back about like that, forward, and then he does have a waist that you can swivel around. As far as the leg goes, let's move his arms up and get him out of the way. It's just such a bulky, such a hard figure to to try to mess around here. But yes, his knee there, his leg can go back really nicely. So he's going to be a ballerina or something. So you got that. He can do the splits, as you can see there. So yeah, good leg, knees, everything's good there. Now, like the toes, if I can show you here, all of them are articulated, but as you can see, the paint, where they painted it, the paint was holding it down, so like when I, had to heat it up, made it a lot easier to move the toes. So you can articulate all the toes on both feet. So that's cool, but you can't do that with the hands though. Like, these don't articulate; they're just stationary like that. But yeah, you do get a different set of hands, so that's a plus with that. But yeah, and as far as his tail goes, I don't think there's much articulation, because it kind of just pops off like so, and then you just attach it, and you feel like there would be something you could do with it, but there's really nothing. It just kind of sits on here. I mean, you can move it up a little bit like that, but other than that, there's not much you can do with that tail that I can see. But yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. I do think the articulation's nice. I love that jaw. I love the way he looks. The paint job's nice. The armor's beautiful. Everything's good. He's really heavy, really bulky. So if you don't like heavy figures, like, I feel like he's going to take up some room on the shelf, but he might weigh the shelf down as well. But yeah, so I'm going to get into his other. Let's just turn him sideways here. So he's kind of leaning on that tail. I don't know if we can. Yeah, they're really, really bulky. Kind of have him leaning on the tail to hold him up. But let's look at his, like I said, we already went through, his fabric here. Very nice, very soft feeling. It looks really good. Really pretty looking. Like I said, it's just Velcro that attaches on the back. And the same thing, this is his, like, cape or tunic or whatever you want to call it. It's hard to see unless I hold it back like this. So this would go on his back. So I'll put all this stuff on him and then do the end of the video here for you guys. But that is like his cape thing there. It looks real nice. I love that fur. I don't know what that is, if that's real fur or what's going on, but that's really nice. It's not like, doesn't seem like it comes off real easy either, so that's a plus, because you don't want, like, loose, weird fur hair like a dog's been shedding or something. So you got that cape there, and then I I think everything else I can hold in my hand here. Now these are his shoulder pads. Again, you can see all the fine detail put in these things. See the eyes. It almost looks like I was gonna say what do you call those things? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. The dinosaur with the horns on the face there, the Triceratops. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, so you can see this. This will be his shoulder pads here. Pretty sure they go on like this. Very nice details though. So we'll look at this stuff again once we get it on him. But like, it almost looks like a Triceratops, but then you see those teeth right there, and you're like, well, maybe it is a T-Rex with the horns going on. But pretty cool looking nonetheless. So that's his shoulders. And I believe this is parts of his helmet. I'm not sure how all this goes on quite yet. Something like that, I think, when you put it together. But then again, this is definitely a Triceratops looking skull, I think. I mean, I don't know all my dinosaurs that well, but that kind of looks like it to me. And then this is just a part of a helmet that this would attach to. Another cool piece is just look how nice that looks, man. I love the age to like the gold or the copper or whatever they're going for there. Really cool looking. They dirtied it up. Just really nice details. Really, really nice details. Hopefully it's not real hard to put together. That's kind of like what I'm worrying about. And I already showed this. This was already on him when we got him out, which is just the mammoth thing. So we won't look at that again since we already kind of looked at that. And as I said, he does have 2 extra hands. These are just kind of like more grippy hands. The ones you see are kind of like, he has like kind of like claw type hands on. These ones are more for holding probably the weapons. So there you go. His two extra hands. And then there's some stuff here that I'm not sure what it is yet. I'll have to look at the box. I don't even know. Maybe this is a necklace because there is a thing attached to it. So maybe this goes around his neck is what I'm assuming. But just look at that fine detail put into this. I'll know better once I look at the box and figure out how this stuff goes on him. But very cool looking. So you got that. I think it's a necklace or pendant or something. And I think this might be one of like the trinkets. Like I was talking before on his belt, there was the little where you could connect things to it. I don't know if this is something that just hangs off of his belt. It's some kind of bird. Looks like a bird skull. I don't know what else it could be. So you got that little trinket, I think. And then another, I'm assuming this is something else that would hang off the his belt. Some other kind of trinket, some kind of bones going on there. So there's that. And I think this is another trinket here. Some kind of medallion. And then you have like another bone sticking off of it. Just look at the details in this thing's really nice, man. I just love the aged like gold armor like coloring paint job they have on this stuff. There's that. Now there are I don't know what this stuff is. This one, I mean, hopefully there's an instruction booklet. But I think these are like the different connector pieces and things like that you would use to connect all the armor and everything on them. So it'll be a chore to get all that on there. Hopefully I'll figure it out. But he does have his weapon pieces here. I believe this is like his axe or something like an axe. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what this attaches to, but yeah, this is some type of weapon that he holds. And then you got his like bloody looking sword right here that connects onto something. Yeah, very cool. You see like the blood on the tip, like he's been slaying some people. And then he has this big like mace-like weapon, which looks real cool. I think there's trying to make out the design there. If that's a face or what's going on here on the top. But it's very cool looking. I love the paint. The paint that they did on the armor and the weapons looks so nice. But I'll have to figure out how all this goes together. But yeah, that is it for the accessories, guys. That is it. His articulation, everything looks great. His paint job looks okay. So, well, great. I don't want to say okay. The paint job's excellent. I love it. Everything looks awesome with this guy. So I'm going to put him together, and then we'll come back with him finalized. I'm not going to do that on video because it'll probably be crazy. So let's see how it goes. Alrighty, guys. So I'm just going to explain a few things. I've been working at this for about 10 minutes now, trying to figure out how the accessories goes on this guy, the armor pieces and everything, which some of it's pretty self-explanatory. But there's no instruction booklet, so I'm literally using this photo right here and just looking at the stuff I have. For instance, you can see these little things with the hooks, obviously dangle. They're just little trinkets that dangle off of the metal pieces off that armor piece on the belt. And then, of course, these pieces, like I said before, are trinkets, and you can see they dangle off the armor pieces, the shoulder pads, which are these pieces right here that are hanging there. Now, for this, it's pretty simple. They came with a little peg in the bag here, and you just put the peg through the empty hole, and then on the back of him, you can see there's 2 holes there, which that's where the armor pieces are going to peg in on both sides. Now, the thing that confused me is, like, how's the cape work? How do you get the cape on there? Now, there is this elastic piece that comes with it, and I just attached both the hooks from the cape on that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it over top of the neck there, and I'm hoping that'll work. And then I'm going to put the shoulder pads over top of that to hold them in, and that should be how it goes on. That's the only way I can explain it. But I just wanted to point that out for anybody that gets this figure, because I didn't get instructions. I don't know if it actually comes with instructions and they just didn't give me mine, or whatever, but it's pretty self-explanatory. The hardest thing to figure out for me was just the cape. As you can see, you can easily, there's just a peg that pegs into the other parts of the helmet here, and then there's an elastic band that you'll just put over underneath the neck, I'm assuming, to attach the helmet. I haven't done that yet either, but yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of pieces here that I still haven't for sure know if I need to move anything out. It looks like there's some nails, fingernails or something, but it looks like they all have them attached. I don't know if those are extra pieces in case you break off one or lose one or what happens. I'm not sure yet. Figure that one out. But they also might be pieces that go into the knee pads, because there's little holes down there, so that might be where you put some of the spike things. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep trying to judge from the pictures. It's really hard to tell because it doesn't look like there's anything in it on that one, but why else are there holes in there? It would be really nice if they added instructions just so you know what all these small pieces are supposed to go to. I have another elastic band, and then I think that's like double-sided sticky, like whatever the hell you call it. I don't know what that's even used for. So yeah, I just want to point out it's complicated if you don't have instructions a little bit. Most of it's self-explanatory. Like, I figured out how to put the shoulder pads on there pretty easily, and then I just had to figure out to put that elastic band. I'm hoping that works around his neck. But yeah, I didn't watch any videos. I didn't have any instruction booklet. I'm doing this all on the wing, winging it, I should say. So yeah, I don't know, guys. We'll see what it looks like. Hopefully it doesn't take me too long. All right, guys. So here he is all put together. And I have to say, it is no joke trying to get all this stuff on him. There is no instruction manual. They did not provide, there's no instructions at all on what you're supposed to do or how you put this together. You just got to go with the flow. I used the picture here to figure out as best I could. The shoulder pads were pretty easy. They just had little pegs that you plug into the back once you put it together. The cape, you had to put a little elastic band around it and then put it around his neck. Same thing with the helmet. There's just a little elastic band that connects it to hold it on there. And yeah. And then all the other stuff, the trinkets and stuff, I had to look at the photo. I was like, well, where's this go? Of course, the necklace here goes around the neck. And then we got these other trinkets that are just kind of hanging here off of his shoulder armor, as you can see. And then you have some more down here that just hook into the chain. So a lot going on, and you also had all these extra spikes that you could plug in all the holes into the different armors there. As you can see, that's what I did. Now, I do have some left over, I guess, if you want to do interchangeable parts or whatnot, but I put one on each of his armor guards too. So, and also the horns here are also removable. Pretty much anything that's sticking out can be taken off and moved around, or you can just remove, if you don't want the helmet on there, you can just take the helmet off. Turn them around here. Nice. I love this cape, and there is a wire in here. I don't know if I said that before, but you can pretty much do whatever you want with the cape. Very soft feel to it too. Very cool. I didn't really talk about it before, but the weapons too. All right, I needed two hands to show you the weapons here, so I had to stop the video there. But just to show you how this works, you can see that there's this, now this is removable and can be put in any of these places here. This little, I don't know if you want to call that peg. It's like a metal rod type deal to connect the weapons together. Now, like I said, there's no instructions, so you kind of just got to go with the flow. Because if you look at this picture here, and both of his hands, he has two separate weapons there. But then you look up here in the box, and you see that he has one big weapon in his hand right there, his right hand. And you're like, well, what is that all about? Well, it's because there's taking two parts here and connecting them, which I didn't even realize. I thought they were all separate weapons, which they are, but they can be connected. So you would just take this and stick it in there, and voila. You have one giant size weapon, which this one looks pretty decent. I don't mind. It looks pretty cool. Now, if you wanted to switch it up, you take this out. Let's say you'd want to connect these two together. You do the same idea here. You just push them together. Now you got a double-sided, I don't know if this is like a mace or a club with a sword over here, blade. And then, as you can see, it transferred over to this one. And if you just wanted to do like the same thing here, these two together, and have like an axe type deal like that, you can do that as well. So yeah, everything's pretty much interchangeable. The figure, if you don't want anything, you can take it off of him. He doesn't have to have, if you don't like the cape on there, or you don't like the helmet or the spikes or any of the trinkets, nothing has to be on there, or everything can be on there. So that's the way we're looking at this here. Now, like I said, this was quite a bit of work just to get everything on this guy with no instructions. It would help a lot if they included that. I think that's something that they should think about. Because, you know, you can wing it or you can go by pictures, I guess. But it would be more helpful, especially when you're like, well, how do I get this cape on here? Because that was the most difficult part for me, was figuring out the cape. But very cool figure, guys. I'll take some pictures and compare him with some of the other figures I have just to show you the size difference. But he's very cool. Alrighty, so let's compare him with some other figures. Kind of difficult to see him with the helmet on. He has that shadow casting over his, over his face there. But let's put him over like this. So yeah, let's pretend that poor Donatello right here traveled back a little further, or into a whole nother planet, I guess. And you can kind of pretend this guy is that Shogun Shoot. I think that's how you say his name. Figure from the original comics, and he was a Playmates toy as well. You could pretend like this is like a gigantic, you know, Tyrannosaurus Rex that this poor Donatello has to face in battle. That'd be a pretty interesting fight there. I'm pretty sure you're going to need all four brothers for that. But let's just put Donatello over here on the side, and let's bring out another figure. We got the God of War here, Hades, from the Berserker Studios. And yeah, big size difference with these two. You could pretend there's a battle of the gods versus these dinosaur battlefield figures, I guess. Be pretty interesting matchup, I would say. So we'll put him off to the side here. And then another turtle figure we'll bring down here is Krang, Android Body. This is the Best Action Krang. And almost getting a little bulkier there. We'll bring down another Super 7 figure. If I can get him to stand. Rocksteady here. He doesn't want to stand for us. But here we go. So we got Rocksteady leaning over a little bit, but you got the idea. Bulky Rocksteady, bulky Best Action figure there. So let's take him off to the side. Bring down another larger figure. This is, of course, the NECA Super Shredder. Getting a little closer in height there. That might be the closest battle as far as size as we got right there. But yeah, that is what we're looking at, guys. Super Shredder versus this Battlefield Tyrannosaurus, the king of kings, the king of the carnivores. Yeah, guys, I don't know. Very interesting figure. I do think it was worth. Like I said, I paid $107 plus shipping. It was like $112 total. All these armor pieces, the articulation's awesome. You got the butterfly joints in the arms. You got the knees. Everything is really great with the articulation on here. But definitely, if you do get this figure, heat them up first. Just be cautious. The only thing I would say that I have anything to gripe about is there's no instructions. The cape, to me, was kind of a little confusing on how to get it on there, where to hook it, what to attach it to, but I figured that out. But other than that, everything was pretty much self-explanatory. You don't have to follow to a T with this stuff. Like the trinkets, you can put wherever you want. You don't have to put them exactly where I have them. You don't have to put the horns. If you don't want the horns, you can take the horns off the helmet or get rid of the helmet altogether. You don't have to do any of that. So it's a Build-A-Figure. Do what you want with him. Make him the way you want. You could buy him naked version, and I don't know if you can purchase the armor separate, but you could just buy him without anything cheaper. I think, like I said, I think it's like $60 to $80, somewhere around there, if you don't want the armor pieces. But yeah, that's about it for this review, guys. Like I said, I do recommend this figure if you are a dinosaur lover, or I think I might go into this line and purchase some of the other ones and check them out, but I think this is probably the bulkiest one they came out with. I probably should have started smaller and worked my way up, but very cool figure. Definitely A++. Anyways, guys, talk to you soon.